All right, everyone, welcome. We're going to go ahead and call our meeting to order at this time. 1.2 Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll go ahead and ask Ms. Valeria Cervantes if she could please lead us in the pledge. Awesome, thank you so much. 1.3 Approval of the agenda. If there are no items to be pulled, can I
So
get
moved.
Great. Moved by Mr. Tillman, second. Are we pulling something? Okay, I believe it's HR is 5.4. Is that the one we're amending? So approval of employment contract Assistant Superintendent Human Resources to change effective date from August 25th to September 2nd.
Approval of the employment contract for Assistant Superintendent Human Resources. Effective date needs to be amended from August 25th, 2025 to September 2nd, 2025. That's the only change required.
Awesome. So with that amendment, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please. And then I'll have Ms. Cervantes.
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Delgado
Aye.
and Ms. Martinez Sosa.
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Mrs. Alexander?
Okay, just verbal.
Aye. Awesome. Motion carries. 2.0 Special Presentations and Recognitions. 2.1 Resolution in recognition of Attendance Awareness Month. And I'm going to go ahead and ask Mr. Delgado, would you be able to read that for us? It's 2.1.
Whereas good attendance is essential for student achievement and developing the habit of regular attendance, prepares students to succeed in school and career, and whereas chronic absenteeism most severely impacts low-income students and children with special needs, especially if they lack resources to make up for lost classroom time at home, and whereas San Bernardino City Unified District dedicates resources and attention to reducing chronic absenteeism and partners with families, parents, and school leaders to make attendance a top priority. And whereas the SBC USD 2025 to 2026 attendance awareness campaign theme is Missing School is Missing Out, which reminds students and families that every day is that students miss school. They are also missing out on learning, social interaction with their peers, and so much more. Therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Education of the San Bernardino Unified School District recognizes September 2025 as Attendance Awareness Month, and be it further resolved, the Board of Education recognizes that greater attention is needed to improve student attendance and hereby commits to reducing chronic absenteeism to give children an equitable opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive academically, emotionally, and socially.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Medina, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote please. Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Mr. Delgado?
Aye.
And Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Thank you.
Mrs. Alexander,
Aye.
Motion carries. 2.2, resolution in recognition of Hispanic Heritage Month. And I'll go ahead and ask Ms. Martinez Sosa if she could read that for us, please.
As the period from September 15th through October 15th is officially known as National Hispanic Heritage Month and is a time to honor many historical and modern contributions to Hispanic and Latino Americans. And whereas those dates coincide with important events in Latino American history, including the September 15th anniversary of independence for Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. September 16th is the anniversary of Mexico's independence, and September 18th is the anniversary of Chile's independence. Whereas Hispanic and Latino Americans share ancestry and cultural ties with Mexico, Central and South America, the Caribbean, Cuba, and Spain, this diversity has brought invaluable perspectives, experiences, and issues to the district. And whereas the district celebrates the vibrant Latin American spirit that influences our nation and recognizes the practices of commitment to family and love of cultural heritage, which are the virtues that transcend ethnicity and are exemplified in Hispanic and Latino American communities. Therefore, it is to be resolved, the Board of Education of San Bernardino Unified School District joins people across our state and nation in recognizing September 15th through October 15th, 2025 as National Hispanic Heritage Month and directs appropriate activities for celebrating Hispanic and Latino American heritage culture taking place in the district schools.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Ms. Alexander and second by Mr. Tillman. Vote please. Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Mr. Delgado?
Aye.
Ms. Martinez Sosa? Thank you. And then Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Ms. Rosales Medina,
Motion carries. I apologize about that. 3.0 public comments. 3.1 receive public comments. This is the only time the public will have an opportunity to address the board on items not on the agenda and within their subject matter jurisdiction, such as district policies, procedures, programs, services, or fiscal matters. Public comments are limited to 5 minutes per person. 6 or more people who wish to speak on one topic will be provided no more than 30 minutes total. Speakers are cautioned that under California law, no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments regarding any person simply because these comments are made at a public meeting. And I believe we only have one comment, and that is Paul Cheney. I apologize.
Good evening. Am I on? Good evening. My name is Paul Cheney, or if you wish, you can call me Pablo Cheney. And I do appreciate Hispanic Heritage Month. It is part of my family, as I'm married to a woman from Honduras. I'm here to talk to the board about trees. And a little while ago, I emailed the members of the board photographs of a deodar cedar tree and other trees at the new building at the Purdue campus on 17th Street. And conveniently, it's on the front page of this little handout. And if you have this handout, if you look here, the deodar cedar tree that I'm going to talk about is this one slightly to the right of center. How many of you have been by that facility recently? How many of you been by there? Okay, so I encourage you to go by there and look at this deodar cedar tree that is kind of the focal point of a courtyard there. The design was intended to preserve the tree and have it be, like a major heritage spotlight of that courtyard. Unfortunately, as you may have noticed in the photographs I sent you, and I also sent the student members of the board, I asked that the email be sent to them as well. In those photos, I documented the fact that there was not tree protection in place before construction began. I want to backtrack a little bit about my background. I went to Hillside School. I attended Purdue and graduated Cajon High School in 1971. The first year it was Cajon High School. I went to Valley and I graduated with a degree in horticulture from Cal Poly. I got my certified arborist credential in 1988, as well as my state contractor's license. And I've been working with trees for the last 40 years. I started out as a certified arborist as a consultant, doing reports for development review under the California Environmental Equality Act requirements. In other words, I'd look at construction sites, proposed construction sites, I'd look at the plans, I'd look at the existing mature trees on the property and determine if they could be saved or not as per the plans. What I have concluded is that you can't pretend to save trees. You actually have to do the things that biological, that oldest and largest living thing actually require. Well, what happened on this site on 17th Street is that the things that the tree actually required as a living organism were violated. They did the over-excavation in the root zone of this large deodar tree. They removed critical roots. Over-excavation, as you may know, digs down 1 or 2 or more feet, and then the soil is recompacted, so whatever structure is put there doesn't settle and crack. But when you're trying to preserve a tree like this, you have to determine that the critical root zone. And the critical root zone on a large tree like this is usually at least 1.5 times or 1.25 times the radius of the trunk to the drip line of the tree. And if it's any closer than that, you need to do mitigation in that root zone so that the remaining roots that aren't damaged or removed thrive and support the top of the tree. Well, what's happened in this case is that critical roots were removed. There's not enough roots to support the top of the tree. The photosynthetic surface of the tree has died back. About 3/4 of the living tissue of the top of the tree is dead. So what happens there? It's like if you have a wooden building and you don't do maintenance, you don't control the termites and the decay in that building, what happens is that the whole structure decays. So my recommendation to the board here is to remove this tree, have the contractor or the responsible party replace it. Now, this wood in this tree is beautiful. It can be milled into benches or tables or other things that your wood shop students can create. In my last 20 seconds, I want to offer the board a tour of the campuses, and I will point out to you how the last tree service company that did pruning on the trees really did a disservice to the people and caused damage that will cause cost the district money in the future. We could take a van around, and I can take you to North Verdamont, to Musco Elementary, to San Andreas, to Riley, and a bunch of other schools, and I'll show you the trees and the damage
Time.
that's been done. So that's my offer.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Mr. Komnick, did you have an update to provide us regarding some of that, or?
There was a update provided in a Friday update, and I can resurface that for this Friday.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right, 3.2 District English Learner Advisory Committee. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, we do have Ms. Grande that wanted to make a comment on the last speaker.
Sir, Paul, I just want to make a comment. I actually know that you're one of my neighbors where I live in the Rosina Ranch, and you're always this way on Nextdoor, sharing your expertise and offering to help people. And I just want to acknowledge you for that. Even though we went back and forth about my silk floss tree one summer, it's so far we've been keeping it small, so it won't get too big, hopefully. But thank you for your kind and generous offer. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. 3.2 District English Learner Advisory Committee video. I want to go ahead and call up Ms. Elizabeth Romero. I know last time that she came, there was a malfunction with the video, and I don't know if you wanted to add something or we were just going to watch the video, Ms. Romero. Just the video? Oh, okay.
Sí, buenas tardes a todos. Los
Good
miembros
evening,
del
everyone.
board,
Board members.
Mayra Ceballos, superintendente, todos aquí presentes. Me da gusto verlos nuevamente. Es-
Ms. Maria Ceballos, Superintendent, all members present. I'm glad to see you all again.
Sí, nada más quiero invitar a todos los padres, a ustedes, para nuestra siguiente reunión en septiembre 5.
I would like to invite all parents and to you all present to our next meeting on September 5th.
Pero también para mí yo veo muy necesario que haya más participación de los facilitadores.
But I also consider necessary to have more participations of the facilitators.
Porque la verdad, estamos aquí en conexión con ellos, pero a veces los padres cuando escuchan de las reuniones, a veces ellos no saben de lo que se está hablando y tenemos que tener un poquito más de conexión como.
Because we are here in connection with them, and sometimes when the facilitators talk to the parents, most of the times they don't know what they are referring to or what they are talking about. So we need to be in connection.
Gracias a Dios lo podemos tener en virtual y aquí en presencia.
Thank God we can have these meetings virtually and in person.
Nada más es de que pues yo sé que están muy ocupados, pero ojalá y también tengan esa importancia porque pues nuestros estudiantes y nuestros padres lo requieren.
And I know you're all busy, but I want you to consider this important as our parents and children deserve it.
Está conmigo aquí nuestra parlamentaria Marisela.
With us, I have here with me our parliamentarian, Ms. Marisela
Núñez.
Núñez.
Y pues nada más aquí estamos para apoyar como DILA.
And I want to let you all know we're here to support as DILAC.
Todos en conjunto, en unión, positivamente.
In union all together, positively.
Y gracias por todo el apoyo que he recibido de todos ustedes.
And
Miss
thank you all.
Apogey, Miss Sandra Rodríguez, ustedes, la verdad, muchas gracias por ese apoyo.
And I want to thank you all for the support, Ms. Applegate, Ms. Rodriguez, all of you here.
Y yo sé que vamos a tener un gran año, con mucho éxito.
And I know we will have a great year with great success.
Sí, por el amor a nuestra comunidad. A
Por-
pesar de todo lo que está pasando, pero yo sé que sí se puede.
For the love of our community, despite everything that is happening, I know that it is possible.
Y pues a continuación el video, que lo prometido es deuda.
And as we promised, we will have the video.
Sí, y es nada más una bendición estar aquí con ustedes y pues día a día vivir el día a día y pues vernos como seres humanos todos.
And again, it's a blessing to be here with all of you and seeing each other as human beings.
¿Quieres agregar algo?
Would you like to add something?
Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Actually, Ms. Romero kind of said everything that was in my mind. I just want to say thank you. It's been wonderful. Last year there I was part of DLAC, and now I'm looking forward for this new year. And hopefully everybody could join us in our first meeting, which is going to be September 5th. And you know the time, 9:30. So hopefully you guys could join us. Thank you, and we're looking forward for this new school year.
Is the meeting here?
Yes, it's in this same room.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias. Great job. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was amazing. Muchas gracias por compartirlo. Muy bien. Esperamos ver el de este año. We look forward to seeing the one for this year. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to 4.0 closed session, 4.1 closed session public comments. Do we have any?
No, we do not.
All right, 4.2 closed session. We will adjourn. All right. We have a quorum now, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So moving on to 5.0 action reported from closed session, 5.1 approval of elementary school vice principal. And can I get a motion?
Moved.
Second.
No.
I motioned.
Motion by Ms. Medina, second by Ms. Alexander. Vote, please. Motion carries. So be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the appointment of the following employee, Marina Hernandez, elementary school vice principal, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined. And I will go ahead and pass it on to Dr. Morales.
All right, good evening. Pleasure to be in front of you again. I think we're making this a regular for me now, right? So, Board President Ceballos, board members, Mr. Ariano, and cabinet, it is my pleasure I have a biography here for one of our newest managers coming to us. So I have Marina Hernandez. So bear with me here. With over 20 years of experience in education, Ms. Hernandez is deeply committed to student growth, equity, and community engagement. Having taught at multiple grade levels, she brings a broad perspective on student development and also she is a proud product herself of the English learner programs in her childhood. She is passionate about supporting English learners and has led initiatives such as LPAC and increasing parent engagement. Ms. Hernandez collaborates with teachers to address the root causes of disengagement and behavior challenges, coaching them on strategies to meet diverse student needs. Her approach blends empathy, strong relationship building, and a commitment to creating an inclusive, structured environment where every student can thrive. So please welcome Ms. Marina Hernandez, soon to be Dr. Hernandez, as our newest manager and vice principal of George Brown Junior Elementary School.
Good evening, everyone. Take a deep breath. Good evening, President Ceballos, Vice President Aviles, board members, cabinet, and Superintendent Arellano. It is with great deep gratitude and genuine excitement that I accept this position of Vice Principal at George Brown Junior Elementary School. I'm truly honored by the trust you have placed in me, and I look forward to serving the students, families, and staff of this incredible school community. My journey in education began many years ago as a teacher assistant. Those early years taught me the heart of this work, building connections, meeting students where they are, and never underestimating the power of encouragement. I went on teaching 4th grade, then I taught history, middle school, high school English. And for the past 3 years, I've served as an assistant principal at a comprehensive high school. Each step of my career has shaped me, challenged me, and prepared me for this very moment today. I also come to this role with a deep personal connection to the students and families that I will serve. I was once a 1-year-old immigrant child from Mexico that became a student and a product of the English Learner Program. I know firsthand the courage it takes to find your voice in a new country, a new language, the determination it takes to succeed despite barriers, and the power of having educators who believe in you. Because of that experience, I'm truly understand the pathway of many of our learners in this community, their hopes, their challenges, and their incredible potential. I stand here today because my parents, Trinidad and Marina, had the courage to leave everything familiar behind them and migrate to the United States, giving me the chance to dream bigger than I ever thought possible. I am here because of the unwavering love and sacrifice of my husband, Joaquin, and the constant encouragement from my 2 greatest inspiration, my son, Nathan, and my daughter, Marissa. I carry their beliefs in me into this role. I was that elementary student, I was that middle school student, that high school student, that college graduate, and I'm the doctoral learner today. And now I am ready to serve them all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing that with us and choosing our district, and just welcome. Up next, we have 5.3, approval of coordinator special education preschool.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Alexander and second by, oh, I jumped one. Sorry. 5.2, approval of coordinator for special education academic instruction. I apologize.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Ms. Medina, second by Mrs. Alexander. Vote, please. Motion carries. So be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the appointment of the following employee: Kayla Schrock, coordinator, special education, academic instruction, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined. Dr. Morales.
Thank you. All right, so our second manager introduction, Ms. Schrock. She brings a strong background in special education, a deep understanding of K-8 instructional programs, one I can personally vouch to, and proven expertise in systems development and district-wide collaboration. She leads with clarity and impact across multiple levels and audiences, consistently demonstrating instructional depth and strategic vision. Her leadership is intentional, student-centered, and grounded in a commitment to excellence. Ms. Schrock is well prepared to take the next step in her career and lead with purpose, passion, and integrity. So without further ado, Ms. Kayla Schrock.
Good evening, President Ceballos, Vice President Mary Ellen Avalos Grande, Superintendent Ariano, Cabinet, and board members. I just want to start by thanking all of you guys for the opportunity to serve our community as a special education coordinator for academic instruction. I am a proud graduate of Pacific High School, a student of Golden Valley Middle School, Del Vallejo Middle School, and Hillside Elementary. At 22, I then became a special education teacher here in our district. And I'm proud to be continuing supporting school sites and families, but more importantly, our students. My journey in special education has been supported and mentored by so many people who have led and shown me true leadership, the importance of inclusive practices, and accountability. Those include the late Mr. Ross Mack, Kristen Bikendova, Dr. Juana Lundy, Barbie Castro, Dr. Ryan Rubio, and Jackie Willis. I want to ensure that I also acknowledge the support of my family and friends who have grounded me in all the ways that family and friends can. My mother, Linda Etzel, was a teacher in our district for over 25 years. And growing up, she always told me, "You're going to be a teacher one day." And I denied this multiple times, but here I am. She is a guiding light in my life and will always continue to be, both personally and as an educator in our district. I wouldn't be who I am or what I am without her. So to say I'm grounded in this district, you're darn right I am. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm proud of our special education department, and I am honored to be able to continue to lead the work in a new capacity. Thank you all.
Again, welcome, welcome, and congratulations on your promotion. All right, 5.3, approval of coordinator special education preschool. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Alexander, second by Ms. Medina. Vote, please. Motion carries. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the appointment of the following employee, Brandy Barbie, Coordinator of Special Education, Preschool, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined. Dr. Morales.
All right, awesome. Okay, so number 3, who's hiding behind me here. Mrs. Barbie brings over 20 years of experience in education with a background that spans multiple school districts and roles from classroom teacher to program specialist for special education. She is widely respected for her strong leadership, collaborative spirit, and deep understanding of district initiatives. Mrs. Barbie has a gift for uniting staff, families, and departments to support the growth and success of every child. Known for her organization, creativity, and unwavering dedication, she has led with both heart and vision, ensuring that preschool programs are effective, equitable, and aligned with our long-term goals. We are fortunate to have her guiding this important work. Ms. Barbie, would you like to join me up here?
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Ceballos, Vice President Aviles Grande, Board members, Cabinet, and Superintendent Arellano. I would like to take the time to thank all of you for entrusting me with the position of Coordinator for Preschool Special Education. I believe that the support we provide for our youngest and some of our most vulnerable population of students speaks volumes about our district values and the commitment that you have shown that we have to early and effective intervention, which changed the lives and outcomes of the students of our district. Going back several years, but not too many, when I was a senior at Cajon High School, I sat at the kitchen table with my dad and made a few pronouncements, as 17-year-olds often do. I am not wearing a pink dress to prom. I am not getting married. I am traveling the world, and as soon as I can, I'm moving far, far away. And I will never, and I mean never, ever, become a teacher. Those words ring clear in my mind. From my mouth to God's ears, in his wisdom, he said, "Oh, really?" As kids now will say, "Bet." I did wear pink to the prom. I did get married and bought a house 3 blocks away from my dad, and currently reside here for over 20 years in San Bernardino. And instead of a life I had planned full of self and self-indulgence that I had envisioned, my heart was changed and my steps were ordered upon a life of service. I'm not gonna cry, Jackie. I'm so sorry. I do this every time they know me, I swear. My service has included 17 years in the classroom, which I cherish with all of my heart, as those were some of the most important and memorable years of my life. Working with students with disabilities and their families has been an honor. I hope in some ways I have made a difference in the lives of my students over 18 years and their families, most importantly, that they felt loved, accepted, worthy, and deserving. I'm so sorry. of a first-class, first-rate education, that they never felt less than, and that they knew that I gave my best to them every day, and that my hope is that when they left my classroom, they were better than when they came. I would also like to say how grateful I am to my husband. He has been a steadfast support for 26 years. He has encouraged me to achieve my goals and supported every one of my dreams. He will even show up at my office at the drop of a hat, completely change his plans, and help me move furniture and deliver curriculum like he did just last week. I want to thank Dr. Juana Lundy, who saw something in me and encouraged me to continue to grow and apply this to the special education department even after my first most horrible interview ever. She was instrumental in my professional growth and never failed to tell me about myself, which I often needed. To Brianna York, who is my first administrator here in this district, she was a true leader full of wisdom and who ensured that all of our students were included school-wide activities, and she took their education very seriously. She made sure she knew all about IEPs and special education, and she made it her business not to only know, but to care. To Dr. Latasha Kelly and Nancy Creo, currently of State Preschool, for working willingly with our department and forging a relationship and accepting our students and helping to support them with open arms and increased opportunities for growth. I would especially like to thank Jackie Willis. She has no idea how much I appreciate her. Her professionalism, knowledge, work ethic, thoughtfulness, and friendship are truly irreplaceable. I am looking forward to all of the great things that will be accomplished under the leadership of Dr. Ryan Rubio, as he has a heart of gold for the work that we do. And just as an aside not written down, it is truly amazing to see the progress that has been made over 25 years for our population of students. When I began in 2000, the idea of separate but equal was long banished with regards to race. However, it was very apparent with regards to students with disabilities. We were often relegated to the classrooms in the corner, never provided materials, and just simply not included. I remember having our own separate recess by ourselves, separate lunches, separate activities. And I am so proud of how far we've come and how far we still to go, that now our students are not only included, they are truly students first. They are not seen for their disabilities, but they are seen for who they are and what they accomplish. And I'm very proud to be a part of that work that is going on in our school district. It is just such an honor and a light to see out there helping those children. And a final thank you to the speech pathologists, DHH specialists, school psychologists, adapted PE teachers, occupational therapists, OIs, and PTs, along with the preschool and all special education teachers. The work they do is instrumental in changing the lives and supporting best outcomes for our students. And it is my hope as I take on this new role that I can be of help to them in the service of our children. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations, and don't ever, ever, ever apologize for your passion and your emotions. I think San Bernardino, we are known for that, for our heart, for our corazón. I frequently get choked up here and teary-eyed, and maybe just because I'm really passionate too. But we appreciate the passion that you all bring. That's what we're here for. So again, congratulations, and let's move forward. All right, 5.4, which is the approval of the employment contract assistant superintendent human resources as amended earlier.
So moved.
Okay.
It's moved by Mrs. Alexander, second by Mr. Tillman and Dr. Wyatt.
Thank you, Madam President. Just something that caught my eye over here, and if this is the norm, then I apologize for inquiring about it, but is a $950 monthly housing allowance normal for our executive cabinet and assistant soups?
Mr.
I'd have to look at the contract again. I don't believe so. So that might be a typo if it's in there.
I was thinking maybe is that an auto allowance? Because that would make sense.
Yeah, it might be. Let me take a look at that document.
So So I receive an allowance for that because I live in the city. So you must live in the city in order to get that stipend.
Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez, and that
You're
was my
welcome.
next question because, I would approve if somebody lives in the city, but if not, then, I would not agree with paying somebody a housing allowance that doesn't live in the city, so. Because she does live in the city, I'm assuming then, that's correct? Oh, okay. Good enough for me then, thank you.
Ms. Medina?
Yeah, I would be okay if they lived within the city, but I don't know if maybe I recall that we had a conversation of the increase. Has there been a conversation of the increase? I can't recall. And so I honestly prefer to look more into this and to have more of a comparison because I thought maybe there was going to be an attachment. I don't see an attachment. I would like to look at the language itself, the contract language itself before I approve it. My suggestion would be, and I know is there a motion on this item? There was to look at how, if we can bring it back, or does this have to be approved? I mean, either way, there would still be, if we don't approve it tonight as an example, they would still be earning the 213. I'm just wanting to look at the back language to make sure that everything's comparable to everybody else. And the pay is comparable to everybody else, or maybe since they are starting the position, it's different. I don't know.
So let me just ask a clarifying question. My understanding is that the contract that Mrs. Doizan is being presented mirrors the contract language that our current assistant superintendents
There was nothing,
have.
nothing added to the contract, the standard contract that applies to
Right,
all.
it's the same
cabinets.
exact contract. Nothing's been
If
altered.
you- if you-
However,
if-
having said that, certainly we can get the board a copy of it to take a look.
And
The effect of not approving it would be that this person couldn't start on the 2nd.
Got it.
I apologize, what?
The only downfall to not approving it tonight is that she wouldn't be able to start on the 2nd, correct?
You would not be able to start on the 2nd. So then the pay is that, so it's not just the pay, so there's, I mean, it's not just the benefits, it's also the pay. And I wish we would have gotten this earlier, so at least we could have seen the full language. I know from my personal, and I voted no on many other ones before, so this wouldn't be the first time. But it's not because of the person, but because of I don't have the full context, as I usually would in the past, before it was brought to us.
Mr. Tillman?
Said this is the standard benefits that all assistant superintendents receive? Exactly. And you won't get it unless you live in the city.
Nothing special was arranged in this contract.
You said nothing special was arranged, right?
No.
The pay was what was advertised, right? This is what was advertised in the announcement. So this is the amount they get. You couldn't change that. You can't advertise an amount and then say we're not going to pay you the amount. So I would say that we approve it so the person can start on the 2nd because there's nothing different in the contract than other assistant superintendents.
So this, just to clarify, and I apologize, but just to clarify, so this is the pay that's in the announcement.
Yes, it is.
In the job description, I apologize.
Yes.
Mrs. Alexander?
Just to clarify, the salary that's here is just a range, is that correct? It's a range. It's not the specific salary. Yeah.
Correct.
So I don't see the word increase in here. That's a range. Just want to get
Reflects-
clarification.
It's not a range as much as it's a 2-step salary, so here you see both steps.
Okay.
And the reason why I've asked in the past, there's been situations where sometimes a new person coming in will earn more than some of our current, assistant superintendents, and so it didn't seem fair that we're hiring someone new with compared to those that have experience in earning less. So that's why, for me, it's always good to see beforehand. Not that I wouldn't trust what you're saying, but in the future, please have this for us because I do want to compare, and I also want to see if the other staff members would either earn less or about the same, so I'd like to see that in the future.
Mr. Santos?
Just to clarify, she lives in the city? I don't know if we got an answer to that.
So the stipend is, you're only eligible for the stipend if you live in the city of San Bernardino. So I currently have that same language. However, I don't technically live in the city of San Bernardino, so I don't receive that stipend. You have to live in the city of San Bernardino in order for that to be activated.
Thank you for the clarification.
Awesome. So we had a motion and we had a second. There's no more discussion, I don't think. So vote. And then just if you can provide us that information, I guess on a Friday update, that would be great. Thank you. Motion carries. 5.5, lift readmit of expulsion of students. Be it resolved, the Board of Education authorizes the readmission of the following students with the identification numbers as indicated below to schools of the San Bernardino City Unified School District in accordance with the board rules and regulations and in compliance with the Education Code Section 48900.
Vote.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mrs. Alexander. Vote, please. Motion carries. 5.6, petition to expunge, rescind sealing of record or modify youth court or expulsion. Can I get a motion?
Vote.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mr. Santos. Vote, please. Motion carries. 5.7, other closed session action. There was no other action. 6.0, student board members. 6.1, reports and comments. I'll go ahead and start with Ms. Cervantes.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank the President Ceballos and Vice President Grande, as well as the board members for having me today. I'm Valeria Cervantes, a junior and a representative from Arroyo Valley High School. Overall, I would like to thank all the custodians for keeping our campuses clean. I noticed how well maintained Arroyo Valley is, showing a clean and welcoming environment that helps students feel safe and focused for the start of the school year. In Arroyo Valley High School, we recently received some exciting news and events, and as well as new initiatives to highlight. We started off the school year by having our back to school night, which happened on August 14th. We had an incredible time by allowing families to meet teachers, learn about academic expectations. Additionally, we also held a club rush, which happened on August 15th during school lunches. This opportunity encouraged students to get involved in extracurricular activities and explore their interests. Although a new program is developing in Arroyo Valley High School, which is called SLICK, which would motivate students and promote leadership so they could succeed academically and personally. Overall, our first football game at the start of the season will be held at Arroyo Valley on September 5th. Lastly, our coffee with the principal will be held on September 24th. This will be a good opportunity for parents to connect with the teachers and discuss important updates. And two other schools I would like to share is that San Gorgonio High School also had an exciting month, starting with their back to school night, which happened also on the 14th, which allowed families to engage with the teachers and learn more about the academic expectation. The girls volleyball team achieved an incredible milestone by winning first place in their tournament, showcasing their hard work and dedication. The girls flag football team is also off to a strong start, performing very well this season. Additionally, our San Gorgonio representative, Ivan Jones, was formally introduced during the junior and senior assembly, highlighting the importance of student leadership. Sierra High School recently hosted also a back-to-school night, creating a good opportunity to parents and students to connect with teachers and learn more about the school year. These are some of the highlights from the schools. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that report. Up next, we have Mr. Delgado.
Good evening. My name is Damon Delgado, and I am a current junior representing Pacific High School. As my first official meeting as a student board member, this is my distinct honor to be here today. I want to express a moment of gratitude for my school security staff. The connections they build with students on a personal level builds a sense of respect for both sides. Not only do students feel safe, but also valued, as officers show students what it means for them to look out for them. Here are some of my highlights that I wanted to look into. Pacific hosted a freshman orientation, which had tour guides showing incoming students about each building and the classes within them, such as our Biomed, Project Lead the Way class, and our new B building. Last week was back to school night. We had crowds of families come in and look into clubs at Pacific, and even programs such as Big Brother, which students go to an assigned elementary and mentor a little to help support them with their schoolwork. I would also like to mention that Pacific has implemented a new project labeled Science of Learning. How this works is that during advisories each Monday, teachers would present study methods on how to retain and develop the long-term memory within the brain. By teaching students about different study methods or even sleeping habits, students will be able to excel within their academics, such as the upcoming SAT for juniors. I would like to mention that San Bernardino High School has started the girls' tennis season and had taken the victory today. They also started their volleyball season. From San Andreas, it has gained recognition as the healthiest school in America in 3 different fields. I will now conclude my reflection with a moment to thank the board for giving me the opportunity to speak about Pacific today.
Thank you. Great presentation as well. Up next is Ms. Martinez Sosa.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maria Martinez, currently a junior and representative for Indian Springs High School. What's it called? Now, I wanted to take a moment and to thank all of the counselors for their patience during these first few weeks, as it can be very hectic trying to have everyone satisfied with schedules or even have compromises of schedules. They deserve some appreciation for all their hard work and dedication to the students and to the staff. Something that's very important to highlight at Indian Springs High School was that we had an amazing back-to-pack night, which is more well known as back-to-school night, where we had food trucks, booths displaying our departments, popular clubs and sports, and even a scavenger hunt open to the general public, just to get to know the school and the staff there. And everyone was very welcoming and kind, and we had a lot of people just there, and it was very nice. And then Middle College had its senior trip for 4 days and 3 nights. They're exploring schools in Northern California thanks to the funding of EXL and our wonderful Dr. Rodriguez. And then lastly, but certainly not least, Clajon had its club rush and back to school night last week Thursday. They also had their senior class meeting, which they collaborated with the whole senior class on senior activities and school events to have throughout the year. And we currently have not had an SLAC meeting yet. And thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you letting us speak about the schools and anything we needed to. Thank you so much.
Thank you for yet another awesome report. Let's give an applause. It's their first meeting and you guys are doing great. All right, 7.0 administrative reports and presentations, 7.1 bond presentation, Mr. Terry Komnick, the Associate Superintendent of Business Services, and Mr. Tom Pace, Facilities Director, will be presenting on the purpose and process of a school bond, including how it supports district facilities and student needs. Mr. Komnick, I'll turn it over to you.
Good evening, President Ceballos and Vice President Grande, board members, Superintendent Ariano, Cabinet. Thank you for this opportunity to share tonight. A request that the board had brought to our attention several board meetings ago regarding the presentation of the mechanics of a bond. Mr. Pace and I have met with our facility subcommittee of the board and have had an opportunity to share. However, tonight we will share with the entire board our presentation about the mechanics of the bond, and I will now turn this over to Mr. Tom Pace.
Good evening, everyone. By way of introduction, my name is Thomas Pace, Director of Facilities, Planning and Development. We are responsible for the construction and reconstruction of schools within the school district. You will see on the cover slide here that this is our newest school, an early education center located across the street from San Bernardino High School in the old agricultural area. It is called the Francis Grice Early Education Center, houses grade levels 0 to 5, and just opened a few weeks ago. We're very excited by it and is very much a nature-based educational setting. Today we are going to define a bond, talk about how a bond is repaid, talk about bond capacity, and different fiscal responsibilities and strategies the district utilizes when talking about bonds. What is a bond? It is a financial tool that we use to fund large capital projects like schools. It's public debt. Investors buy it, and repayment comes through property taxes. Bonds give us access to low-cost funding. Our community has used bonds as far back as 1892 for the original San Bernardino High School. And another example shown is the actual ballot for a bond in 1963 for the purchase for the land for San Gregorio High School. That is the depiction of the original San Bernardino High School. You can see some very small palm trees in front of the high school. That is actually taken on E Street, and if you drive down E Street and you see the very large palm trees across the street, those palm trees still exist. Repayment. Let's look at how general obligation bonds appear on a property tax bill. This example is from a home near Arroyo Valley High School with an assessed value of $210,000. I'd like to remind everyone that assessed value is determined by the county assessor's office and is not the same as market rate. The home of $210,000 is the median home price in San Bernardino within the district, meaning half the homes in the city have an assessed value of $210,000 or less, and conversely, $210,000 or more. It is the true midpoint. You can see that the bond-related tax amounts are broken out along with the general tax levy and special assessments. Currently, this homeowner pays $2,753 annually, with $197 going towards San Bernardino City Unified School District bonds. If a new bond is passed, depending on its size, the tax increase could range from $63 to $126 annually, raising the effective tax rate slightly from 1.24% to between 1.27% and 1.3%, meaning if you find your tax bill, find your assessed value, your current effective, figure out how much you would pay in taxes is to multiply it by 1.24%. If you want to see the change in difference to your assessed value with a bond, you can do 1.3%, and that'll give you the difference. Renters could see a potential pass-through of anywhere of $5 to $10 a month. It is also important to note, as a unified school district, San Bernardino City Unified is legally limited to a maximum tax rate of $60 per $100,000 of assessed property value under Prop 39 bond rules. This statutory cap helps ensure fiscal responsibility while allowing the district to invest in much needed facilities. Here we see the impact of different types of taxpayers. A median home valued at $210,000, like I said, would see an increase of $130 annually. In contrast, a $105 million commercial warehouse found within the city could see an annual increase anywhere between $31,500 and $63,000 based on that bond rate. This reflects the proportional structure of general obligation bonds. Fiscal responsibility and strategy, one of the things that we're very proud of in our department, that over the past 20 years, for every dollar raised in local bonds, we have matched it to the tune of $3.26 in additional funding. In other words, 77% of all funding comes from other sources, not from bonds. You can see in the pie chart that total bond funds over the past 20 years have been $283 million against $924 million from other matched sources. We take our financial stewardship seriously. For every dollar raised, like I said, we match it with $3.26, but you may be asking, where did those funds come from? We have pursued many alternative revenue sources without going back to voters. This includes $322 million in certificates of participation, more than $20 million in grants, solar credits, developer fees, and even successful litigation over equitable funding within the state facility school program. We've also saved $100 million in potential charges through solar energy and refinancing bonds, which has saved taxpayers because we've refinanced bonds within the last 20 years 3 times for a total of $24 million. I think it's also worthy to point out that our district credit rating is A+, meaning every time that we sell bonds, we have to get a rating. And Moody's has found through the district's fiscal responsibility, through its leadership of the board, the stability of the board, through our current leadership, they find us to be a very credible rating. And so we have an A+ rating and have for many years. And with that, this is an informational item only, so there is not an ask from us. We do have one of the first questions that when we're asked about bonds, we are frequently asked about need and what is our need. This presentation was not geared around what our potential need is, but I do want to let the board know that several years ago we did a very in-depth analysis of every one of our schools. We actually met with every department within the district, talked about the educational need we have. We compiled our physical and educational need by site. We prioritized it, and we put dollars to it. So and we brought those binders here today, so if there's specific questions about need, we can talk to the need. But today was really more about informational about the mechanics of a bond, but do know that we do have an identified need and we do have it prioritized, and if anyone would like to see a copy of that, we gladly send that to you. So with that, we're open for questions.
Thank you. Ms. Medina?
Yes, thank you for the presentation. I know this was also very informative for our new board members so they can understand what the bonds are as well. And it's a refresher. I have a few questions. One is, currently we have bonds. What is the remaining balance or unused balances that we currently have? And if they are unused, or maybe the projected projects that are still pending when it comes to the current bond that we have?
Measure N was our last bond. We do not have any more authority to sell bonds under Measure N. We made our last bond sale in January of 2025. So we have exhausted our bond authority. With that being said, we obviously have capital in our accounts for the projects that we have under contract. I can go through some of those projects if you'd like. We have currently work at Pacific High School. We're working on their theater, their student center, music building. We're currently replacing bleachers at Arroyo Valley, San Bernardino High School, Cajon High School. We're making more athletic improvements to San Bernardino High School. We have a few projected middle school gymnasiums at King Middle School, and I'm drawing a blank on the other middle school.
I think
Golden Valley, thank you. I knew I saw it but could not place the name. So we have several things that we're currently working on. We did a COP this past year to help fund some energy initiatives. We're currently replacing every light within the school district that is not an LED light. We are replacing a lot of air conditioners this summer. We replaced 240 air conditioning units with that money. We replaced the chiller systems at Bonnie Ole and at Riley. So we're working on infrastructure and many different things.
And you mentioned that there was there's still need in other areas, and I think one thing that I did see is that we have porta potties or temporary stations for students to use the restroom in high schools. And so is that, maybe you can just clarify that.
We have lots of portables. So when we talk about portables, we have portable restrooms. They are permanent structures, but they are portable restrooms, not
Okay, thank you for
restrooms
clarifying that, yeah.
within specifically built buildings.
And that we have those as a need for all of our high schools, if that was the choice.
We have, as an example, Mr. Santos and I actually toured San Bernardino High School a couple weeks ago, and we looked at one of those restrooms. So we do have them. I don't know the total quantity. I can get that quantity for you, but we do have them sprinkled throughout the district.
Okay. And then I would like to see the needs and to see what areas that we can. And if we were to look at those high needs or the other needs of improvements, will there be balance from the current measure M that can go into funding some of those items?
Currently, the money that we have is allocated towards projects that have been identified by the board. We have a small excess amount of funds, but will most likely go to the middle school gymnasiums.
Okay, so then it would be exhausted. It would.
Correct.
Okay. And can you explain when we receive funding, and I think it's mentioned in which, let me see which of the slides, we can actually have it matched. What do you mean by that?
Through grant programs, through the state facility building program, most grants require a match from a district if it gives money for construction. In a lot of cases, so we're currently working with the county on several projects. They require a 25% match for the projects that they are helping fund through us. So when we do have bond dollars and we're able to get them matched, we leverage the amount that we can do with those projects. I'll use Arroyo Valley as an example. Currently, Arroyo Valley is coming up on 25 years old. That's the point where the state starts to chip in and help pay for modernizations. They are eligible. We are eligible for about $40 million to put into Arroyo Valley High School. So the state would contribute $40 million, and we would have to have our match in order to get the $40 million.
So then we would actually have more funds for our sites.
Correct.
Okay. And then how do we compare with the increase to the surrounding school districts?
I will.
If we were to increase.
We had our financial advisor pull that information, and I can provide that in the Friday update. Generally, the effective tax rate of San Bernardino is lower than the surrounding communities.
Those are my questions for right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Alexander.
Thank you for the presentation. I just have some, I guess, clarification questions. When looking at cost avoidance, so the district cost savings, 100 million over 25 years and avoided costs through solar, what does that mean?
So we have a couple different solar programs. So we've done some solar under a PPA. The PPA means that we are buying our power from the person who built the solar on our property for 9 cents a kilowatt hour. So we know that we are currently paying more than 23 cents a kilowatt hour to Edison. So that savings, that 100 million, when you look at the savings we're avoiding, is by investing in solar. We then have also invested in direct purchase solar. So we're going to put solar in at 9 different sites, but we're paying for it. So we will get our electricity because we're investing the amount into the actual structure at a very low cost, even lower than 9 cents a kilowatt hour.
So we're taking the, I guess, the variance and then
Correct.
reinvesting
It's
it?
cost avoidance
Yeah.
plus direct savings is the 100 million.
So what is that, how does that correlate with a potential bond?
I think it just shows that when we do invest in our facilities, that we're trying to make our facilities more efficient, because we know that if we make our facilities more efficient, that the savings that we get through effective use, like changing out our lights to LED, that is a general fund reduction where that money then can be used then in classrooms and other areas of need within the district.
Thank you. My other question is, and I'm not familiar with it, well, I'm familiar with refinance, but it says refinance general obligations bond 3 times and then the savings to taxpayers. Can you just give us a little bit more detail around that and what that
So
means?
as the bond market changes, as interest rates become cheaper, if we find that the interest rate has fallen below the interest rate that we originally bought bonds with or sold bonds with, that we refinance those bonds so that the taxpayer sees then a reduction in cost directly to their bill. And we have done that 3 times during my time with San Bernardino, and it has saved taxpayers over $23 million by refinancing that. We know that it's not easy to ask our community for more money for schools, and so we take that responsibility very seriously, and where we see an opportunity to give back, we try to.
When was the last time we did it?
January.
Okay,
of this
thank
year.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Santos.
What is a COP?
Certificate of participation, if you want to think about it like a second on your home, the board borrows money against our property, and we repay that through a dedicated stream of money that we have through RDA, or the redevelopment agency funds that we get yearly.
And I just have myself a couple questions. Thank you so much for the presentation. So Measure N, was this the one that was passed in 2012?
Correct.
On the ballot, when it was approved, it said to repair and replace leaky roofs, deteriorated classrooms, outdated fire alarm security and electrical systems, remove hazardous materials including asbestos, upgrade educational infrastructure such as classroom technology, science labs, and vocational education programs, acquire, construct, and repair school facilities and equipment. Have all of these things been done?
Yes, and I can give you some examples. So Measure N has helped in the rebuilding of Pacific High School. Prior to the new buildings that they now enjoy, and we hope that you do like them, we had failing fire alarm systems, we had leaky roofs, we had insufficient air conditioning. And so by rebuilding Pacific High School, and the state contributed, we were able to match the funds that we put in, so the state has paid over 50% of the cost of Pacific High School. We have gotten now classrooms where we have eliminated those things. When you look at the transportation building, there's a CT program there. If we go back, I failed to mention, and I apologize, that's the pool at San Gregorio High School. And that is another CTE program at San Gregorio High School. That's our culinary arts building that just opened up. So yes, and yearly we have a Citizens Oversight Committee whose charge is to ensure that where we spend our money is in alignment with the bond language. And every year in June or July, they come before you to tell you their findings, and we have an auditor that reviews all of our expenditures against the bond language, and they report out. So you do have a third party that looks at that and ensures that we are being compliant with the bond language. And we're happy that every year since the passage of Measure N that we have not had any findings, but we do meet with our COC 4 times a year to review all of our initiatives and how we're spending our money against the bond language.
Awesome. And you said you had a list of proposed or needs. I would like to receive a copy of that.
Yeah.
Ms. Medina?
Yes, there was a proposition that was recently passed when it comes to receiving facilities funding, I believe it was. I can't remember which proposition was it, the last election. Will we receive any funding from that?
Yes, we currently have applications turned into the state. They're awaiting to be funded. But we have eligibility under Prop 2, which was the state school bond initiative, for about $350 million over the next 10 years.
That's a total for the next 10 years.
So eligibility, some sites are eligible now, some are eligible the following year, the year after. And so if you look at a window of a 10-year window, which a bond would represent as a 10-year window, we have about $350 million of eligibility under the current state program. And we have a list of all of those schools and what we can receive out of the program for those.
And can you, when you present the examples of needs, if you can look at what that might cost? So I mean, maybe have it in different stages. One is, this is what we really need. If we had minimal money, this is what we need. Versus, you know what, think big. If there was enough funding, this is what we can actually do. So I would like to see them in stages, and that way, kind of looking at if it's even possible, if that's a need, is to look at what that tax bracket would look like for those. And but definitely, I would like to see the high needs, but also like the program or upgrades that are needed. And I know we've spoken on several during the board meeting on several things that we would like to see upgraded, and that might help us actually visually see that as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And then include, of course, if we were to see Proposition 2 funding and other fundings that can help support that.
All right, any other questions? Seeing none, I think that's it.
And so if I heard correctly, and I just want to make sure that I'm going to provide you all the information, because I think I promised you several things. We're going to provide the effective tax rate for the surrounding communities. We're going to provide you need. And I want to remind the board that we have 74 schools. When we talk need, we have prioritized a lot of information. So we are going to aggregate some of that data. So when you see the need, we can dissect it any way you want, but we will give you a very high level view of need, cost of need, and by priority from nice to haves to needs.
Awesome. Ms. Medina?
No, you know what, I'm thinking, because I know when we receive the present, or when we receive it in the Friday update, it's different from when we hear it directly from you, and then also hearing from other board members and having those conversations. I'm not saying that we have to, but I would like to have that as a presentation, a board presentation, but if it's not, then but that way we can have a discussion on it and seeing how we feel, if we even consider moving forward or not.
Can I get consensus for that? All right, there's your consensus. We'll bring it back in a presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Moving on to 8.0, action items, 8.1, personnel report.
As presented.
Vote.
Good.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mr. Santos. Vote, please. Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Mr. Delgado?
Aye.
Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Motion carries. 8.2, consideration and approval of Fourth Amendment to the employment agreement between the San Bernardino City Unified School District and superintendent.
Moved.
Okay.
Moved by Ms. Medina, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote, please.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
Miss Medina, or it was Ms. Medina and Mr. Tillman. Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Mr. Delgado?
Aye.
And Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. 9.0 consent items. 9.1 the approval of the consent list.
Moved.
Second.
I want to pull item 9.3.
Okay. Any other items?
Pull
Should be-
9.4.
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Tillman. Who motioned it? Oh, yeah, Mr. Tillman motioned it, and then Ms. Alexander seconded, and then we're pulling 9.3 and 9.4. Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Mr. Delgado?
Aye.
Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. And then we're gonna go to 9.3,
Yeah, I pulled that because I'm going to recuse myself. I had to go to a funeral the day of that meeting.
Thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and vote on that. 9.3, compensation for school board member Danny Tillman.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt, second by Mrs. Alexander. Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Mr. Delgado?
Aye.
Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Thank you.
You can bring back Mr. Tillman and then.
As he walks out, he'll bring him back.
Dr.
Mrs.
Wyatt.
Grande?
Dr. Wyatt, don't you have to?
I didn't know. Did 9.3 pass? That's what I was waiting for.
Motion carries. 9.4, compensation for school board member Scott Wyatt.
I'll be sorry. I'll be
Oh,
recusing myself on 9.4 due to injuring my knee that afternoon, so not being able to attend the meeting. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Moved by Mrs. Alexander. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Medina. Vote please. Ms. Cervantes?
Aye.
Mr. Delgado?
Aye.
Ms. Martinez Sosa?
Aye.
Motion carries. We're going to go ahead and move on to 10.0, reports and comments by union organizations. And thank you. 10.1, San Bernardino Teachers Association.
No report.
10.2, California School Employees Association.
No report.
10.3, Communication Workers of America.
No report.
10.4, San Bernardino School Police Officers Association.
No report.
Thank you. 11.0, reports and comments. 11.1, board member comments. And I will go ahead and start to my left with Mr. Santos.
No comments tonight.
Wonderful. Let's keep moving. Dr. Wyatt.
Thank you, Madam President. Just wanted to say thank you to our folks on the presentation, Mr. Comnick, Mr. Pace, and also thank you to their team for a wonderful tour this weekend. I want to make sure I pronounce it right. I hope I get it right. My colleagues will help me pronounce it. If I don't, Pacum, or is it Pacum? Pacum, not, yeah, so we were correct on that. And wow, what an amazing facility, first of all. You know, and again, it's a testament of what the school district is doing for our city and for our families and our students and our staff. When you get a chance to see that facility, if you have not seen it, it is absolutely amazing. It will be, as what it is, a welcoming center for our families, our community, our guests, and I think they're going to be beyond welcomed and beyond impressed. And you got to see the artwork that's in there. That's the chandelier, which is just, it's amazing when you see it. Each one is to be a diploma, or is it a diploma? Floating through the air, and each one is a separate light. when you take a look at that, it's like, wow, that is impressive. And I believe it is, the saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, my colleagues will probably be able to correct me, but welcome into my home. Is that what it meant? Welcome into my home, I believe. Is that what a literal translation is? And I was also told that there are only 5 individuals that may still speak that language that are alive. So that's pretty impressive as well. So we're gonna have to teach that language. I think that's the goal of the Yamava tribe at their new school they just opened, which is also an amazing new facility. So congratulations to the district and to the board and those that have the vision of wanting to create such an amazing welcome resource center for our families and community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Aviles Grande.
All right, before I forget, I just want to say that when I was listening to Paul Cheney, I thought, pathways. UCR has a big program on arborists, and it's very agriculture, and they have the land and the crops to back all of that up. It's incredible. So that I won't talk about Tony Plana and the puppets this time, maybe someday later. One, I just want to say thank you. My heart is filled with gratitude and thanks at this space and time. I want to thank you, Principal Harold Olivo, for that wonderful open house at the North Vermont, and it was great to see Michael Santos there, whose wife just happens to be a teacher there too. But that was really very impressed. I especially loved your Mod Severe Special Ed classroom and your teacher, Lizette Alvarado. You're fortunate to have a Rising Star Award winner in your school. And she and I did work together at Anderson School for quite a while. My own goals this year is to visit more of our special ed classrooms, starting with those closest to my home, working my way out. And I invite my fellow board members to accompany me or visit with me, just a quick walk around. It's wonderful. It's because I do this because when I was at Anderson School for many years, Miss Abigail Medina came into my classroom and asked me a question. Yeah, and I never forgot. I never forgot that I wasn't ready to answer, because she said really quick, she says, "Are you getting everything you need?" And I was just dumbstruck. No one, I even thought anybody cared about that, especially not at her level, right? So I believe it's important, because I have a memory of teaching in Anderson because of that, and I wasn't even ready. But I never even knew board members even concerned themselves about such things. I had no idea at that time that we teachers were and are our biggest investment when it comes to our scholars. So my last thank yous for this board that continues to teach, inspire, and lead, and give wise counsel. And I do want to end on a sad note. I know many of you knew him or of him. Dan Jimenez sadly passed away, the CEO for the National Orange Show. So it's a major, major loss. He was instrumental in the Best Buddies prom, which I think they had like maybe 1,000 students. And this program is just stellar. And I know Maria Medrano Lazar, too, her classroom aide that became a teacher. She got 2 degrees in her teaching credential through 2 pregnancies, right? And she also had a loss too. Her dear husband passed away a few months ago. So my heart goes out to both of them. And she took Best Buddies to Martin Luther King Middle School, first time ever in a middle school. So my hearts and thoughts are with their families. That's all. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Mr. Tillman.
Yeah, I'd just like to welcome our new student board members, Ms. Cervantes, Mr. Delgado, is that right? And Ms. Martinez Sosa. Welcome you aboard, and you guys did a great job, and look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Ms. Medina.
I just wanted to say that I believe I submitted a request that we have like a ribbon cutting or something grand for the Francis Grice Cardinal Child Development Center at San Bernardino High School. And as we plan that, and I'm hoping we do, because I personally met Francis Grice many years ago through San Bernardino Community College board member now, Board of Trustee Joseph Williams. And I'd like to invite leadership, community leadership that knew her and the work that she did within San Bernardino. You know, I remember speaking with her, and she advocated in a way that says, you know what, she stood before and took hits, meaning, you know, was attacked. And, you know, she wasn't afraid to speak up when it needed to be speak up. And sometimes she would say, some people will stand on the sidelines and stay quiet. And for her, she had to be out there and do what's right for the community back then. And so I do definitely want to recognize her efforts. I also would like to try to encourage that we invite the naming committee, because you know, we board members make recommendations on several facilities, and they chose this wonderful site to be named after Francis Grice. So I would definitely love to have a ribbon cutting and inviting the community here. She was a fighter for human rights, environmental issues, desegregation back then. And so she's definitely someone we want to recognize. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Alexander?
Sure, thank you. I'd like to say welcome to our student board members. You did a great job today in your presentation. So board members Cervantes, Delgado, and Martinez, thank you for representing your schools, but even you have been presented on behalf of other schools. So thank you for that. And you keep up the great work and keep representing San Bernardino. We really appreciate what you're doing. I would like to congratulate my bonus daughter, who is a graduate of this district. She went to Belvedere. She also went to Richardson Prep and graduated from Cajon, and she just recently got her doctorate in social work from Cal Baptist. So her name is Ariana Alexander Fennell. So I just wanted to put it out there, just let her know that we're proud of her. But again, she's homegrown, and she's still here working in the city of San Bernardino. So we really appreciate what she's doing. We love her, and just super excited for all the work that she's done. The other items I wanted to bring up are scholarships. So we're at the beginning of the school year. I'm getting inquiries about just our process from organizations on how to make sure that every student receives the scholarship applications, so they know that they qualify and they apply well in advance, because college applications are going to be due sooner than later. And we need to just make sure, one, we're arming all the organizations that are providing scholarships with the information so they can get them out to the students. So if I can get details so I can share exactly what that process is and who they should be speaking to ensure that students are receiving the scholarship applications. And these scholarships are coming specifically from those organizations. It's not money that's coming from the district, it's from the organizations.
Can I ask for clarity?
Yes.
So are you asking the process for the donor to verify that the student is getting the scholarship, or more, are the students aware of the scholarship opportunities? Are they given the application, and what is the process of following through from the inception of giving the application to it actually going all the way through to be turned in?
Right, that's a great question. So what is the process, one, to get the applications out there to the schools, so to the counselors, and then how do we ensure that they're being distributed, and really that feedback loop, that they receive them, because it could be an opportunity to have these organizations go into the schools to educate the students on how to fill out the applications too. But we have to first start with understanding the process and how they're distributed. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but I have more questions, so I will meet with you later.
I'd be more than
Thank
happy
you.
to. It's just it's a question that comes up at the beginning of the year. We're here, so I want to make sure that we communicate effectively.
Great question. Yes.
And I think that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. So just really briefly, also I want to welcome our student board members. You guys did do a great job. And I don't think we'll see you for a couple board meetings, but hopefully you guys stay tuned as you rotate in and out. Also, I wanted to just remind the board that September 23rd, we do have our a workshop with Gary Rutherford. Rutherford. I am terrible with names. I'm so sorry. We do have that on our calendar, and I did speak to him yesterday, I think, may have been the day before. But anyway, a survey will also be coming out soon for you all to kind of, provide some feedback as we look toward having that workshop. So really, really excited about that. And then there's one last thing. Oh, yes, the Welcome Center. Great building, really, really, really amazing building. Dr. White has really touched upon it, but I just wanted to also say, thank you to Tom and his team for accommodating us on a Saturday morning. So thank you so much. We spent, I think we were only scheduled for like an hour, and honestly, I think we went for like 2 hours. So thank you so much for that. Really just took their time and walked us through, answered all our questions. So again, thank you. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't want to start talking yet. Well, thank you, President Ceballos and board. Let me begin just before thanking our translators again for being here. Every board meeting, thank you. To our school police, thank you for your presence today. Thank you to our community members that are still here. Thank you for being informed and engaged with us. It's always good to see people sitting in the audience, so thank you for being here today. And of course, thank you both for the work that you do. I want to formally welcome our student board members. Appreciate you being here today. I will echo what everyone said. You guys are amazing. We have amazing kids in this district, and you definitely reflected that. So we're happy to have you here. We're happy to have your brilliance. And we're all looking forward to continue to working with you. So thanks for being here today. And thank your parents for having to come pick you up later, right? For being here. So appreciate you being here so very much. So just wanted to highlight a few things since the last time we were been together, and just to let the community know what's going on out there. I know Mrs. Applegate and I were invited by the tribe to come up to see their brand new elementary school on the reservation that Dr. White just mentioned. And boy, what a beautiful location. They built a school on probably one of the highest points on the mesa where you can oversee the entire city. And they were kind enough to give us a tour, to talk a little bit about their curriculum, to talk a little bit about the infusion of their culture and their language in their curriculum. And they've been great partners. They're very humble. They come to us just to ask us, what are the newest things in terms of educational trends? And then we have that reciprocated as well. We often reach out to them and ask for, their support and guidance. So just want to congratulate them on a beautiful school, to Principal Briardy and Vice Principal Padilla and Coordinator Denicio Lopez. They've done a great job, and we're looking forward to working in partnership so that we continue to grow together as learning institution, which of course is going to benefit the city of San Bernardino. Next slide. I had the pleasure the last Thursday and Friday to participate in some training with Dr. Derek Greenfield. And this is in response to Terry Komnick's commitment of having leadership training for our classified managers. And I appreciate Mr. Komnick scheduling this time, because many times with our classified managers, we spend a lot of time and energy on professional development related to the trade of their job, and not necessarily team building leadership. And so we were very happy I wanted to be a part of it. Mr. Komnick as well, Dr. Rodriguez, Mrs. Applegate. We were there on either I was there both days. The other folks joined us either Thursday and Friday. We had the classified managers on Thursday, and on Friday we had our new principals and vice principals. And we did a lot of exercises and activities that were not only just team building. You see some of the fun that we're having here, but learning who we are, working together, but also talking about leadership. How do we make people successful that are underneath our charge? And so I want to thank Terry for putting this together. I want to thank your leadership team, Terry, that came in with open eyes, open attitude, and you're going to see kind of the results that we heard directly from them. So next slide. That's Dr. Derek Greenfield. He's someone I know Dr. Wyatt's worked with him for years. He's someone that I met 10 years ago, and he's just a very inspirational leader. He has nothing to sell. There's nothing to buy. There's no books. This is about open heart, open mind, and people first, process second. And so you see some of the words that we really focused on was, how do you build synergy within a team? How do you create inclusive excellence where everyone has a voice, everyone has a safe opportunity to share their perceptions and to share ideas? Many times we don't open ourselves up to hear new ideas from the folks that we work alongside of. And that's what Dr. Greenfield teaches us, is to create those safe spaces, to identify folks who may be introverts. How do you get them more involved in the conversations? Because many times they don't feel safe speaking, but they may have the $1 million idea that never gets an opportunity to come out. So Dr. Greenfield showed us different strategies that managers could use to create those safety moments. So next slide. And this is what I'm proud to share is we asked our classified managers for some feedback. It's more than just 2 relevant pieces of data, but I wanted to share these 2 pieces of data because most classified managers, actually most managers aren't used to sitting in a training for 8 hours a day. When you look at that, you're like, my God, that's a long day. But if you don't know Dr. Greenfield, he does 8 minutes of talking, 20 minutes of activity, 8 minutes of talking, 20 minutes activity the whole day. So the energy in this room at 3 o'clock was equivalent, if not higher, than the energy at 8 o'clock. Would you agree, Terry? Yeah, it was higher. It was unbelievable. And so you see some of the feedback that we got from our classified managers about how they felt the training was relevant to their daily work and also how it developed their leadership. So what I've asked Terry now, what's important now is for us to not have this be a one and done. That Terry coaches his managers, that we all help coach the managers to implement some of these strategies and keep the vibe alive. So Terry, thank you for all the effort that you put forth. And Dr. Rodriguez and Mrs. Applegate, thank you for joining us. Your presence was felt and appreciated. Appreciate that. Next slide. And of course, I always like to celebrate how our district shines. I'm proud to announce that we have 3 district employees who have been identified as Administrator of the Year, Teacher of the Year, and Excellence in Service in the world of computer science as it relates to math. So in October, these 3 folks will be recognized by the C-STEM program at UC Davis. So I know Mrs. Applegate and myself will be flying up to be there to recognize these 3 individuals. But let me tell you why I'm so very excited about this. So 2 years ago, we started the C-STEM program here with the idea of teaching math through computer science, through coding, through robotics, through programming, and now through the use of AI. In other words, fooling kids into learning math by having fun. I often say that. This is a program that I used in my previous district that showed a lot of increased achievement in math. And as you know, math is becoming very complicated. It's very easy for kids to give up on math. So we're bringing in different strategies to help students feel good about math. And so congratulations to these 3 people. They are putting San Maria City Unified School District on the map when it comes to computer science. Next slide. And then I want to give a shout out to Scott Smith. As you know, he's one of my childhood friends. We graduated high school together, but he's also our PE program specialist. And he's very much in tune in us trying to continue to work to be a healthy organization, a friendly organization, an organization that likes to be with each other. The idea first started from Terry and Dr. Funches having the inaugural department softball game, which garnered about 200 people sitting at their families on their chairs and the kids and just creating a friendship, a love for each other over a softball game. So Mr. Smith saw that and he decided he's going to put together 4 different tournaments throughout the year that are department challenges for cornhole, pickleball, kickball, and dodgeball. So we certainly will provide the Board of Education some information. If you'd like to be part of a team and join me in any one of those sports, we're going to put together, I know Scott, we win, right, Dr. Wyatt? We win. So we'd love to invite you to be a part of that. I'll give you some information, and I just appreciate Mr. Smith trying to build on that culture of being a healthy organization. Next slide. And I want to, I'm going to kick this over to Dr. Rodriguez. She wanted to share some information about the extravaganza that we had at San Maria Valley College. So Dr. Rodriguez?
Thank you, sir. We wanted to give gratitude to the many vendors and many district personnel who made our back to school extravaganza a great success. Specifically, we wanted to show our gratitude to our maintenance and operation team. These gentlemen and ladies that are out there are truly unsung heroes. And so we want to give you an opportunity to kind of see, if you weren't able to make it there that day, how we all came together as a district, as one, to be able to serve the students in this community by providing them much needed supplies, as well as information and resources for them to start the school year in the best way possible. So again, we want to thank all of our vendors that included the Assistance League of San Bernardino, as well as many community members, as you saw, giving out shoes. And also I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Wyatt, our board member, who also gave us some direction in providing some additional support. And it did turn out okay. So yes, it was a great event. The spirit of just unity and coming together to support our community was just a wonderful, and what a privilege it was for all of us to be there. Thank you.
Just last, wanted to just thank the board. This is a picture of Saturday of the board getting a chance to look at the Paxton building. But thank you for working together as a team. Thank you for the vision that you've had. Thank you for the support. And more importantly, thank you all for being visible. It's really important to our staff and our community, so I appreciate that. That's a pretty good picture. Would you agree? That's pretty good. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you, President Ceballos.
Awesome, thank you. And I'll go back really quickly. I forgot to mention, I will be out next week to CLSBA. So board, I don't know who on the board is attending that. I will be attending that. So if you are, I'll see you there. If you're not, you should. CLSBA is next month. I'm sorry, not next week, next month. Oh, nice. Awesome. And then also, just a clarification, the word Pacum is not Serrano, San Manuel. It's actually Cahuilla. Yes. Just wanted to make that clarification. All righty. 12.0 summary of board members' requests. 12.1 review of requests.
Good evening. The first request is from Ms. Rosales Medina and President Ceballos. They requested a copy of the Assistant Superintendent contract to be placed in the Friday update. The second request is from Ms. Rosales Medina. Ms. Medina requested a second presentation to report back the requested information from tonight's bond presentation. The board provided consensus. The next request is also from Ms. Rosales Medina. She is requesting to have a ribbon cutting for the Francis Grice Center and invite the naming committee. And the last request is from Mrs. Alexander. She requested to get information on the process for scholarships, how they are distributed, and the feedback loop. Dr. Rodriguez will be following up and touching bases with Mrs. Alexander for more information. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wyatt.
Thank you, Madam President. I did have one more comment request for Ms. Ballantyne as well. This goes back to a picture that Superintendent Arellano shared. I believe it was Cesar Chavez Middle School. And I hadn't been to Western Regional Little League, and this is going to age me a little bit, but like in 44 years. And I went to the championship game of Southern California versus Hawaii, on my crutches, by the way, which I was in tremendous pain, but I promised somebody I'd go to that game. And it did give me great pride to look over there at our school and see their name over there. And I believe this is before you came, Mr. Arellano, maybe when you did come, but I've talked about how we could partner with our city on such an incredible event. I mean, we get global coverage on a game right here in San Bernardino, which I don't know how we don't blow that up. And I was talking to Councilwoman Kim Knaus, who's also from that area, and I have some ideas about how we could create an archway right over there off of Palm, welcoming us to the home of the Western Regional Championship for Little League, and just that partnership that we could somehow develop with the district and the city and Little League, because it's gigantic. When you go to those games, I don't know if anybody's been to one of those games, and it's been a long time for me. It was just so exciting to be a part of that. And I actually pitched on that mound twice. I want you to know that, Mr. Arellano. Won the game ball, 4-hitter, and won that game in a championship game there. And it's exciting to see. But again, it's right here in our city. And our school's right there. And I'm not gonna lie, I looked at the roof of our school, or MU, I believe that might be. I said we should paint that roof too with something on top of it, because it's right there on the camera when you look at that. And you took a cool picture of that, but I was thinking about that. I forgot to mention that. So I don't know how we could partner with the city and what more we can do there, but I know there's opportunity there for us to explore. So thank you.
Mr. Arellano.
Thank you, Dr. Wyatt. And I really appreciate, Terry Komnick. When we first came on board, we had the idea of how could we market our school district, because I too have watched those games not only live but on TV, and I thought we could advertise. So it was neat to hear my son. We were watching the game, and my son was like, "Dad, the mural! I can see the mural of the district." So that's we have some more ideas to fill up some more of the background that's facing the cameras, the ESPN cameras. So we're going to be working on that. But in response to your question about working with the city, as you know, they've been through rotations of city managers. And so I have reached out to Mayor Tran. She has provided me the new city manager's name. I know he's fresh, new, so I want to give him time and space. But I will be re-engaging that conversation about putting together the bridge committee as well as the 3x3 meeting with the boards, with the board and city council representatives. So we've been trying. And so they're eager, we're eager. I think we're going to have some synergy here. But I will continue to have presence at the city council meeting from time to time, just to spread the shine that we have happening here in the district. So appreciate that, sir.
You know that Superintendent Arellano, and to the board, are we able to sponsor something like that? Like our San Mateo City Unified School District? I don't know. I'm asking, how that works with partnerships, but.
Yeah,
I know, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. We'll take that note. You said one comment. 13.0 meeting adjournment, 13.1 adjournment at.
So moved.